Kenpo karate, Kenyan politics. Today I'm going to talk about Eden's innocence. In bracket, our gratitude. Close the bracket. What has necessitated me to talk about this is the event of things happening around here, around the world. It was yesterday when it was announced that somebody had chased a former lover and killed her in a public place and then lay on her after stabbing, so that when people saw, they thought they were both dead, they were both bleeding. On rushing them to hospital, they realized the man had no injury. The lady was dead. That means all the good times, everything has been forgotten. I remember one time reading a story of a football star in America, and it went the same way. But it's not only men causing that. I remember one time a university lady leaving one university because she felt that the boyfriend in another university had cheated her. Came with a knife. He thought it was a normal visit, and she stabbed him, was it 35 times? More than 35 times. So that was changing him into minced meat. All the good times forgotten. But it's not only with individuals, it also goes with us. Remember, the very first president to relinquish power peacefully in this country, Kenya. We sent him off with abuses. But then after a while, another president finished his term. And what was our reward? We raided his farm. It was like a picture from hell. Sheep being picked on the road. It was us. It is us. Our gratitude. Our gratitude. But we don't get ashamed. We are always righteous. Yes! It's not only for Kenyans. Though we make ourselves more righteous, but also other countries in the world have done things and they have called themselves righteous and called those they are perpetrating evil against unrighteous. That is the world. Human being against human being. But the worst thing is when we behave like animals that do not understand that a certain thing happening to their source means the end of them. Somebody was telling me of a rat and fleas, or a rat and ticks, or a cow with ticks. There are some ticks which will celebrate the death of a cow. It's not moving. But after a while, everything goes cold, the blood clots, and they die. I was thinking about this situation, our behaviors, our gratitude. And then something struck me. Though many things happen which I've always said in the past, and which I not keep repeating, they become a nuisance. I have been seeing a video of Venus and Venera. Venera was the spaceships that visited Venus, and for the first time, people realized Venus has land, rocks, but the pressure is almost 100 times that of the Earth. So it kept crashing the spaceships, which means its gravity has been magnified, meaning it has fallen upon itself. When chunks of land fall upon a planet, it increases the gravitational pull. Maybe those doing science, they call them what? Astrologists? Or what do you call it? Those who are dealing with planets outside can be able to correct me. I've talked about people and their love for greed. We've waged war to cause chaos, to get a benefit. The oil prices are going high. I talked about parasols. But does anybody care? Or does it reach anybody? I don't know if it is the videos because of the interferences that they're not reaching anybody, or if it's my boring expressions, or if it is people do not know exactly what is happening around. Let's start with a classic example. California, when Americans settled there, people drilled underwater, the water from the underground, and there was a lot of irrigation. Every place green, beautiful, productive. But after some time, some wells went dry and land started collapsing. Same has happened to oil drilling. Same has happened to excessive mineral drilling. Basalts are a protection of heat from the center of the earth. The oil that we exhaust, and we are so intent to exhaust, is a parasol. The gas underground is a parasol. The water underground is a parasol. That's why I think God, in his wisdom, divided water above, that is the water that evaporates, the water that flows on land, and the water that is frozen, that is the land water, and the water that is underground. And with some scientists' prediction from volcanic eruption, there is also water that coexists with magma within the Earth center. A large volume, almost 10 times the volume of the ocean, the water we have in the oceans. That's what one time I came across. I don't know if I'm right. If I'm wrong, correct me. I'm not an authority. I'm just a layman. We've been taking care of our wealth problems. We've been using petroleum products, some saturated with sulfur, which would cause sulfuric acid. When the Venera spacecraft visited Venus, Venus is the same size as Earth, by the way. Same size. Same size as the Earth. It's raining sulfur rain. The temperature combined from the sun and from Venus itself is around 480 degrees centigrade. Our Earth center is hot. It's hotter than scientists told us in the beginning. We have extracted oil in places, and true to what has been happening, there has been collapsing of soil, or silently said so that people do not understand. There has been skanking. When skanking happens, the level of the earth, the area that has been raised up, is diminished, meaning the gravitational pull is increased. That's upon those that are on top. But if you take an example of Venus, eventually the gravitational pull may take over and run wild. And that's where now you have certain pressures that the body cannot withstand. The spacecraft Venera was always being crashed. The longest the improved one took was 65 minutes. Heat and gravitational pull and the atmospheric pressure crashing the spaceship. We are built for a certain, to withstand certain amount of gravitational pull, certain amount of pressure, and a certain, in fact, the difference in our heat, if we go about 5-7 degrees above normal, you're normal. But we are talking of hundreds of degrees. The Earth's center and heat is capable of doing that. It's not only heating from the sun, the greenhouse effect, but the skanking of land is also giving such an effect. But we are happy, making profit. Happy! Talking of the world economy, the palm price, yeah. We can do whatever we shall do. Wait, everything has to be taken slowly. Yes. What I said is, Earth is a living planet. I remember the Nobel Prize winner from Kenya on environmental issues, Wangari Maathai, said Mother Earth is very unforgiving. You've seen it with tsunamis, you have seen it with the change in the wind, in the waves, in the climate. But who are we to change our immediate needs, surpass the survival of our children and even us, because we don't know how long it's going to be? Ask the experts about the melting of the polar ice caps. They have warned, they have shouted, but the profit, the short-time profit, overwhelms everything. Several countries in the world are being hit by this thing. The oil price has gone up. Oil pumps are dry. And they are thinking of where do we get cheap oil. For the immediate solution, that may work for a very short while. But I thought this would be the high time that the inventions that people have made, the electric motorbikes. Let's start with Kenya maybe. Uganda is producing motorbikes and buses. Other countries also. Why don't we just go electrical? Get out of this quagmire. There is something called patriotism to the earth, to Mother Earth, and to the country. It's a time that those who have wealth and have been investing it in oil can divest that wealth and invest it in the new inventions. You should be the people bringing in new motorbikes that are electrical, bringing in new cars that are electrical, new buses that are electrical. That means transferring the investment in something that will still give you profit and be friendly to the earth that we all rely on to live. Spacecrafts have gone out. They have gone beyond all the planets that we know. There is none like Earth. Ask those who went around the moon recently. They tell you of the loneliness. For a brief moment they were out there. They craved for Earth. For the short moment they were out there. This is the planet we are playing with. This is the planet we are destroying. Yes. Just like the examples I gave about Kenyans and the other people in the world. That is our gratitude to the planet that feeds us. To the planet that has produced parasols to protect us. To the planet that raises the landmass so that we are not crushed by the gravity. For the planet that has taken care of itself so that it does not collapse upon itself, so that gravity does not go wild and crush us. But can we hear? No. The immediate profit overwhelms the survival. We would rather gain the profit now and die with the profit. Of what benefit will it be to mankind, to humankind? I am talking this with what is happening around the world. It's an opportunity that God has given us, that Mother Earth has given us, to realize that there are other resources, now especially electrical, so that instead of relying on that money to reinvest in the oil, we can transfer that money to earth-friendly, environmental-friendly means of transport, means of power. It is within our grasp. The technology is there. The factories are there. Solar panels are there. The batteries are there. And for people who import the oil, the money is there. Otherwise, how do you buy the oil? But immediate profit supersedes our destruction. That's what I gathered, because every time I've been on YouTube, it has been mass, Venera, that crash. The atmosphere so thick that you cannot be able to see from outside. You have to penetrate or look for penetrative ways of seeing the landmass on Venus. It is, according to human beings, it is a hell to be in. You wouldn't last. Metal from Earth doesn't last. The spacecrafts that are made to withstand so much pressure, longest it has lasted taking photos is 65 minutes. That's the longest. That is the longest. And we are busy trying to push Earth to be like Venus. I'm a layman. I'm not an authority in those fields. But when you see something recurring, a warning recurring, It's telling you change your ways. Change your ways. It's like you are being given the strongest kick in martial arts. It's called the Taekwondo rounders kick. I'll not go to the other specifics and the other names there. That rounders kick, if it gets you in the diaphragm proper, you are gone. If it gets you at the bottom of the groin, your bladder will burst. That is what we are giving the earth. When it stops sustaining, shall we not be like the fleas that are happy, or the ticks when the cow dies? They are celebrating. No movement until when the blood clots. That's when they realize this was our source of heat, this was our source of food, but it's too late. This is the earth reverberating, protecting us in so many ways. I try to explain in the other videos, and those who are interested in science, space, astrology, go to it. You will realize Earth is unique from any planet. Unique. And we are designed to be on Earth. No other place. The things that we do easily here, breathing, sustaining our body temperatures, are a tall order on other planets. Go to the moon, for example. You have to put on that suit. You have to do. And the dust is unrelenting. And meteorites from the other side are striking. So you are like an organism in a shooting range. They say a person who doesn't hold a big post, who has been suppressed by those who have predicted, because I told you of beddings, I am restricted from doing many things. And there were times when I almost felt like complaining, but I realized also when God has given you a purpose, that restriction is part of what fulfills the prophecy. I told people when we come to Christianity, for the three denominations that boast about knowing God in the world, that is Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The prophet Isaiah walked naked, with nothing for 3 years. Each for each religion. Naked. You can imagine a prophet coming to tell you about prophecy, and he is with nothing. The children see him, they run away. Everybody, even if he comes, he talks things that appear to be wisdom, but he is totally insane. Sometimes that's how it appears. But it takes wisdom. It takes courage to accept that we are on the wrong footing. So the way we shall do to move from that oil economy mentality to the new mentality will determine how much we damage the earth. This is a message that is coming. I don't know if it's from me, or I don't know, because that vanilla thing stuck and stuck and stuck. And this is the message I've gotten from that. You joke with earth, it can go wide. And that may be the end of us all. So take advantage of what is happening around the world to change, because the technology is there, the factories are there, and the very money that you are pretending is not there is there. Go electrical. That's my take for now.